Good morning. Thanks for connecting with us.
Something good gonna happen in this year, and I am grateful that I made it here. Yesterday's gone.
What's happening, Cam?
New day has appeared,
Good morning to you,
and
bro.
I am grateful that I made it here. Blessings gonna find me here. Oh yeah, favor gonna find me here. Oh yeah. I mean, say money gonna find me here. Blessings gonna find me here. Oh na. Something good gonna happen.
Good morning, Anita.
Year, and
Thanks for connecting with us.
that I made it here. Yesterday's gone and a new day has appeared, and I'm grateful that I made it here. Blessings gonna find me here. Oh yeah, favor gonna find me here.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a big one today.
Money gonna find me
I feel you, Cam.
Blessings gonna find me oh na. Something good gonna happen in
Thanks to all of you guys who are just connecting with us. Good morning to you all. Pray you all had a great week last week and a great weekend up until this point.
Blessings gonna find me here. Oh yeah. Favor gonna find me here. Oh yeah. I mean, say money gonna find me here. Blessings gonna find me.
Good morning, Tay.
Oh na.
Drika, good morning to you.
Something good gonna happen in this year, and I am
Let me give it just another minute or so to give some people time to log on, just in case someone is running a little behind schedule this morning.
Blessings gonna find me here. Oh yeah. Favor gonna find me here. Oh yeah. I mean, say money gonna find me here. Blessings gonna find me here. Oh na.
Gwen, good morning to you.
Something good gonna happen in this year, and I am grateful that I made it here. Yesterday's gone and a new day has appeared, and I'm grateful that I made it here. Blessings gonna find me here. Oh yeah, favor gonna find me here. Oh yeah.
I pray that all of y'all been praying for this game coming up at 12.
Blessings gonna find me here. Oh na. Something
Yes,
good
so
gonna happen in this year.
we have this big game coming up today,
Grateful
and
that I made it.
it's referred to as the Super Bowl of the South. So I'm going to go ahead and get started because I know many of you guys are probably having guests over and so forth and so on. So we want to make sure that you guys are prepared to entertain your guests. So we're going to be getting started. There we go with the Blue Hearts. Okay. Good morning, Lucy. Thank you so much for connecting with us. Hey, listen, I hope you guys have had a great week and a great weekend so far. Everything was it was full. It was full. Y'all still going in the chat. It was a full week last week. I don't know how many of you guys got a chance to watch the presidential debate. It was probably my new most favorite comedy. But if you didn't get a chance to watch it, go back and watch the replay. It's quite entertaining. So we will be watchful about what's going to happen in the next few weeks. I think that we're going to see something. We'll see another dramatic change coming up in the month of October. Yeah, I think in the month of October we'll see another dramatic change in this election race, and so stay prayerful and remain watchful. Make sure that you have all the information you need before you go into that booth to cast your vote. And the only thing I could do is encourage you to vote according to your own personal convictions and with the policies that have been laid out before us, which is not a lot, so that part's going to be easy. But in addition to that, this morning I want to share something with you guys, and I think that this is going to be really useful throughout your life. Just gaining this knowledge and learning how to work this particular tool. I think it's going to be profitable for you in your life in, just various stages of life. It is very helpful. I do want to read one passage of scripture to kind of support what it is that I'm getting ready to share with you. In Hebrews chapter 12, verse number 1, the scripture says, "Wherefore, seeing we are compassed about by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin that which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us." I'll read that one more time. "Wherefore, seeing we are also compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every sin and let us lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us." So, what I want to really just focus in on is the laying aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us. I want to talk about that from a different perspective, not so King James, if you like to see it that way. But I want to talk about this because it's really important, because our failure to adhere to this particular text, it costs us in other areas of our lives. So it's important that we are literally carrying out or maintaining this principle in our life. And so this morning, I want to talk to you about deselecting the things that you no longer desire in your life. We all have a will, right? And according to our will, we supply ourselves with those things that we desire. Now, I'm not just talking about spiritually, I'm talking about just day to day life. According to the life that you live day to day, most of us, the majority of our day, we experience the things that we desire to experience. If you want to talk on the phone, you'll talk on the phone. If you don't feel like talking, you don't talk. If you want to take a nap, if you want to watch TV, if you want to go to the store, in most instances, we're able to do exactly what we desire, and we're able to do it based upon our the determination and the will within us. So if you have the will to do a thing, for the most part, you can do it. There are some instances with where no matter how much you will to do a thing, you may not be able to do it. But in most instances, when you have a will to do something, when you have a will to do something, you're able to accomplish it. You're able to experience or manifest it if your will is strong enough to do that thing, right? And so there are times or things or experiences, should I say it this way? There are experiences that we at one time we desired. Now listen to where I'm getting ready to go with this. At one time we desired certain experiences, and we had the will to manifest those things or experience those things. And so we had the experience, and then after time, we no longer had the desire for that. But the problem comes in is once you lose desire for things that you desired at once and they're stealing your life, we don't know how to really move forward, and we end up carrying those things or relationships or memories or what have you. We end up carrying them with us throughout our life. And when I talk about deselection, I'm talking about the same way you selected to have certain experiences, certain relationships. You can deselect those things. And this passage of scripture that I read, when it's talking about laying aside every weight, it is saying putting it away or deselecting it, and the sin which does so easily beset us. Because when we carry things that we no longer desire in our life, even though at one time you desired it, when you carry it beyond your desire, it becomes a weight, and it becomes the thing that will hold you back when you should be going forward. It'll hold you down when you should be going up. So it's important that you realize that your ability to deselect these things that you no longer desire to be a part of your life or a part of your relationship or part of your professional career or part of your business or part of your family. When you fail to deselect these things, you realize that you are adding weight to what it is that you already carry day to day. And this is a simple fix. It is as simple as laying aside. And the way that you lay it aside is so we so used to what do they say, clapping back and dissing and all that. You don't have to downplay something to deselect it. You don't necessarily have to talk you don't have to talk yourself out of it or convince yourself otherwise. If it was good whenever you desired it, you don't have to hate it to deselect it. In fact, I advise the total opposite. What I would advise you to do is whenever there's something in your life and you feel that it's time for you to put it away, or you realize that it is a weight or it's holding you back or it's placing restrictions on you, the best way to deselect something so that there is no lingering regret, the best way to do that is to simply just when you're considering the thing that you should deselect, just appreciate it for the experience that it was. Appreciate the memories that will remain of it, the good ones, the ones that you desire. Appreciate the lessons that you learned from it. Appreciate the growth as a result of it, and be thankful for having that experience, and be thankful for all of the knowledge that came out of it. And after you get to that place in your heart, at that time you make the decision internally according to your will. I will no longer carry this forward with me in life because the purpose has been served. So you have to be able to just not necessarily slam the door on it, because that's where we mess up at. Because we have certain things and we're like, man, I need to let this go. And you slam the door on it and you end up going back to the door, opening it up, letting it back in. And then after a couple months, you was like, I knew I was right. I should have just cut this off. And then you slam the door on it again, but you're not finishing correctly. You have to complete things. Whenever you want to deselect something, it's just like on the computer. If you select something on a computer and you go back and deselect it, it is after there has been a change of mind. This is the reason why I'm telling you, go make sure that in the process of deselecting, you are appreciating the growth and the knowledge and the experience that you got from the thing that's being deselected. And after you have appreciated it, you can have the change of mind and say, yeah, but it was good in its season, but now it's time for me to move forward with something else. And you're able to make that deselection as a result of having a change of mind. But if you try to deselect something before your mind have changed, you'll end up reselecting the thing that was deselected, right? So you don't want to always cut things off just sporadically or impulsively when you have not had a change of mind. The reason why I'm saying sit down and be able to be thankful for the experience and identify the things that help you to grow, or the things that inspired you, or the things that served its purpose for whatever that purpose was. You have to be able to do that, because that is when you're mentally rationalizing your decision within yourself, and that will allow you to deselect without any regrets, and you will deselect with a change of mind, right? And this is very, very true when it comes to like relationships with others, whether it's a intimate relationship, social relationship, family relationship, professional relationship. Regardless, if you don't have the change of mind before you try to deselect that or you move on, you'll find yourself being unsettled with your decision at some point, or you end up being offended and other things. It's like, because your mind, you have not resolved within your mind, within your heart, within yourself, within your soul, you have not resolved that that particular relationship has been completed. When it has been completed and you have resolved that from within, you can deselect without any problems. And you can appreciate. You don't have to hate everything that you appreciate. In fact, I encourage you guys to just occasionally go back and consider all of the affairs of your life and all of the things that pertain to your life, and see what you're still carrying that no longer serves a purpose in your life, and see how or see if what you're carrying is has become a weight. Because things that can be a delight in one phase of life, it can become a weight in another phase of life, right? And so you shouldn't necessarily carry these things if in fact is holding you down, or is holding you back, or is slowing you down. Some of you today, if you will begin to deselect some of the things that you're carrying, you will see that you're able to move forward and move past things a lot faster. And it won't take the time that you thought that it would take. And listen, you're not stuck with anything for the rest of your life that God did not ordain for you to have or to be with, right? You're not stuck with it for the rest of your life. So decisions that you've made and choices that you've made in previous times in your life, you're not stuck with those things. You can deselect. You can have a change of heart and a change of mind and no longer have to carry that weight. You know? And this tool helps us to live in our the liberty that we should experience, the freedom that we should experience as humans. And I am so afraid that the majority of the believers don't necessarily get an opportunity to live in the freedom that we should as humans. We don't, because most of us, we live according to the religious ordinances that have been placed upon us in our upbringing and in our belief. And whenever you have a change of mind, a change of belief, whenever you have an awakening or an evolution, we're so bound by that stuff then that we're carrying it until we cannot go up or move forward in our most current faith, because we're remembering the past and the things that we were taught in our yesterday, until we have to just look at the lesson of today, but we live by the lessons of yesterday, and it ought not be that way. And we have to be able to lay that aside. We have to be able to lay it aside, even when we're dealing with other people. When we're dealing with other people, you have to, because now there is, I'm about to make a statement, and I hope you guys catch this. There is no hate on the planet like Christian love. Did you hear what I just said? There is no hate on this planet like Christian love, because our love has spewed more hate than anything. And we still live by those principles, even though we have seen over and over and over and over the damage that it does to others. We still won't deselect it and say, hey, look, I used to feel like everybody that didn't go to my church wasn't going to heaven, but I know better now. Right? We used to have different just things that was not right. And at one time, that's where we were. And again, when it comes to those religious beliefs and those things that were a part of your foundation, and now that you're having a change of heart, again, you don't have to dog that. Appreciate it, be grateful for it, but understand that the purpose have been served, and you can deselect and say, no longer will I live under the religious arrogance that I was raised under, or the religious prejudices that I was raised under. You can deselect that stuff, and it'll help you to be more effective. It'll help you to be more effective in your day-to-day life. It will help you to be more effective when it comes to being free to be yourself. And you won't feel the weight or the heaviness of having to maintain something externally or mentally or spiritually that you really don't feel on the inside. You just may not feel it anymore. And it could have been good in this season. And in most instances, those things were, especially when it comes to our religious beliefs. All that stuff, it served a purpose. But it's time to deselect some of those things, because it just, it wasn't right. And so now that we are living in, we're living in an era or a time where we're in the process of the turning of the pages of our faith in God. There is the turning of the pages, and so now you're seeing some things differently that you were taught when you were younger, and we're having a hard time deselecting or laying aside or putting away or undoing those things. Don't get lost in the turning of the page. Don't fall out of the book in the turning of the page. Deselect it. Appreciate the purpose that is served while it was serving purpose in your life. And after you have appreciated it, then you deselect it. The Apostle Paul said this way. He says, forgetting those things which are behind me, I press towards the mark for the prize of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. So he was saying, I am letting go of things that are behind me. I'm deselecting that stuff now. I'm not stuck on that anymore. I'm not stuck where I was. And I'm not going to be held back. And in order for me to press towards or press forward, I've got to forget the things that are behind me or let go of those things or deselect them because it will keep me where I am. Sometimes in order to move forward, you literally have to just sit some stuff down. You have to set it down. Just, hey, just leave it right where it's at. You don't have to be obligated with what's going to happen if I just leave this here. What happens if I really open up myself to what it is that I desire to experience now in my life? What happens? You don't have to be afraid of that. You don't have to be afraid of it because feeling that way on the inside, but living another way externally is hypocritical, right? It's hypocritical. You're not being your true self or being true to yourself. So be true to yourself. Now, let me just say this. I'm not giving no one, I am not giving anyone a pass to just go wild out and say and come back and say, yeah, Doc, you said be true to myself, man. And I went and did this and I started doing that. And I'm not talking about that outlandish stuff. I'm talking about within reason and within your convictions, being true to that. And that comes your ability to do so and to have more of those experiences where you're true to yourself comes through the process of deselection. Because a lot of reasons why we don't do a lot of the things that we desire to do is because at one point in life, we have selected not to allow ourselves to be what it is that we desire or experience what it is we desire. Some of you guys have selected no in times past, where now you need to go and deselect that no and give yourself a yes. Give yourself a yes. Because it's only holding you back. And self-awareness and one's ability to be true to the self will reveal who you really are to you like nothing else. And that's what you need to know. You need to come into a greater knowledge of yourself. As you do so, you come into a greater knowledge of God. We're made in his image and in his likeness. The more we understand about ourselves, the more we'll be able to understand about him. So you really have to understand and know yourself, and you know yourself by allowing yourself the freedom to deselect things that you don't want to be a part of your who. If you don't want it to be a part of your who anymore, deselect it. It's okay. When you have that change of heart and that change of mind, you don't have to maintain anything just because. Those things you can let go. Listen, I know we got just a few more minutes until a lot of us start preparing for entertainment this afternoon. I'm going to let you guys go, but I want you all to just meditate on this throughout the week and begin to allow yourself to start your deselection, right, in your life. And you know, take your time with it. It's not anything that you got to deselect everything in a day that you don't want, because some things may not be at the front of your mind. So allow yourself time to experience those things and allow yourself time to, really process and make sure that you're doing or deselecting the correct things that's going to work in your favor and for the betterment of your future. right? So do that. I do want to ask you guys to please go and make a donation when we get off. As soon as we end this, go ahead, make your selections, Apple Pay, Zelle, Cash App, PayPal, however you make your donations, please do go and make your donation. I have something that I'm trying to do. I need to do some equipment upgrade on some of the hardware that we're using. So please do go and make your donations today as soon as we hang up. And if you guys need me before next Sunday morning, 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, you know how to hit me up. And I will get back with you as soon as possible. Thank you guys again so much for all of the prayers, text messages, phone calls that was made by you guys to my family during the last couple or week and a half or so, couple weeks now. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for that. We appreciate you. I love you all so much. I will see you guys on next Sunday morning and start the process of deselection. And right before you start that process of deselection, go over and make your donations. Love you guys a lot. I will see you guys on next Sunday morning.
Something good gonna happen in this year, and I am grateful that I made it here. Yesterday's gone, and a new day has appeared, and I am grateful that I made it here. Blessings gonna find me here. Oh yeah, favor gonna find me here. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I miss say money gonna find me here. Blessings gonna find me here. Oh na 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 na. Something good gonna happen in this year, and I am grateful that I made it here. Yesterday's gone, and a new day has appeared, and I am grateful that I made it here. Blessings gonna find me here. Oh yeah, favor gonna find me here. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I miss say money gonna find me here. Blessings gonna find me here. Oh na 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 na. Something good
Love you guys. Blessings. Godspeed.
happen